Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Willpower Cup. We're going to have here a 9-3 run with a Morpeko in this meta, which is quite interesting because a lot of people did not believe in this Pokemon. A lot of people did not really even consider this Pokemon being decent for this meta. But here we are, again, another meta where Morpeko can shine. We're going to see here as well against an elite Chimecho here, which is a little bit of an annoying Pokemon because they have Astonish, but it doesn't really matter. Because we're going to have here, of course, access to our great friend Morpeko. And the first opponent here is going to be already a special one because they decided to use a shield against an obvious move that they don't really have to shield up because they would have a Dark type move and a Psych type move. Now they use another shield. And yeah, at this point they forfeit. Don't worry, the game is not going to go for too longer. They just decided to close the app here. I'm going to cut the recording very soon as well. But still, would really appreciate if you enjoy this video, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe as we're gonna now move on to the second battle, as this was an easy victory. So next opponent, what I have to say as well about this team, I definitely did not play every single battle perfectly. There's some battles that most likely could have played a little bit better, but that is also something that just happens after a while. If you get used to a team, you kind of know in which Pokemon you kind of want to swap into when, and that is some great information. For example, against Morpeko here as well, it would have been generally speaking better to go, by the way, of course, here the opponent swapped into us then, but it was always kind of nice to go into a Claydol, especially in the beginning, because in the first wave of Morpeko, basically, where it's still an electric type charge move, basically, they cannot hit Claydol at all, which is also one of the reasons why it's quite difficult sometimes to use this Pokemon in the current meta. Here I was quite lucky. The opponent had to go for a Psychic Fangs, which is going to be great for me because I can easily take this one. Now I can still go for an Aura Wheel against that Charmer here. Charm Pokemon, of course, very, very decent in this meta. We're going to have with the Claydol, one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the meta, available for us as well here, which is going to allow us to survive those hits a little bit easier from Charmers. And as you can see here, we're running the Shadow variant of Drapion as our Say-Swap for this team. Very nice Say-Swap, generally speaking. I would have liked to have maybe the normal variant. The normal variant is a little bit better in this meta based on what PvP pokes us, and I also think has a little bit more potential. But the Shadow one is very, very decent as well, and we're going to be able to win the second battle as well here. So, next opponent, we're going to see a great lead force, and they're swapping out into the Hakamo. This is going to be a Pokemon where our backline can struggle a little bit against because the charge moves are going to be resisted from our Drapion, and now we're going to have to go ahead and go into our Claydol, but thanks to the debuff and thanks to the previous damage from our Morpeko, we are actually going to be able to go for the full farmland after this charge move, which is going to be great as you're going to be able to gain a ton of energy. The moveset of Claydol is not ideal. I would really recommend you to go ahead and get Ice Beam on this Pokemon. Ice Beam is going to be the best move that you could have on this thing here. Ice Beam for sure is going to be the best move that you can have, as there are a lot of times the scenarios where you're going to be locked up against something like the opponent's Mandibuzz, and then you're going to have at least some super effective damage against them. Like this, currently we're getting completely hardwalled. The main reason for this is I just don't have charge TMs, so I'm not going to use, especially not on a Claydol, any kind of charge TMs right now. Claydol has an infinite amount of moves. It's basically like Mew, but yeah, I think it's maybe even the Pokemon other than Mew with the most amount of charge moves, and I'm not going to try to test my luck with this one. But yeah, definitely here, again, we're going to be able to win the battle with Morpeko, and 2 shields still left as well, which is hilarious. Next opponent, Drapion in the lead. What would you want to do here? I played it differently depending on kind of on which scenario I was in. Here I am going to be able to take a hit. I'm going to be able to also bait the opponent most likely with a Psychic Fangs, as they're going to be forced to use a shield here, because this next scenario would be where they're going to be able to resist everything from me, so it would be better for them. But as they of course gonna see, the opponent decides to use a shield. I'm going to be able to swap out of here. I most likely should have swapped out of here like one fast move earlier. That would allow me to basically get to my Aquatents before the opponent for the next time without risking a CMP die. But as I swap out anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. But now I'm quite low because I only have basically one Pokemon left at this point. I still have, of course, my Morpeko, but I also kind of have to rely a little bit on my Claydol now. And this can be a bit of a tricky one, as we will see here the Rage is coming through. We're going to use a shield, of course, being super effective, being stabbed, being buffed. You don't really want to see this, and they're going to go back into their Sableye here. We're gonna go for our own Scorching Sand, trying to fish for that debuff. We are not able to get this one, but it's going to be okay. We decide to use a shield here against the opponent. It's going to be that foul play coming through. They can still go for a Scorching Sand, and I should have some energy stored already on my Morpeko. Is it going to be enough to get the KO here? We would be able to go for the Aura Reel, and then we are going to go ahead and go for the Aura Reel in order to knock out the opponent's Sableye. But is this game over? They're still going to have that Drapion here, and sadly, this is going to be a tough one. They're going to be able to go for the crunch, and this is going to be game here. Goodbye here, and we're going to lose, sadly, this one. But I bet the next one is going to be a little bit better. We're going to have a Mandibuzz against us. In comes the Drapion, and I should have maybe went into my Claydol instead. But a lot of times currently people are running basically a triple Dark team with Mandibuzz and then a double Poison Dark backline. And so, I don't think that this game is over because I went into the wrong Pokemon. I'm fairly certain there's still a lot of play that I have here because I still have the option, of course, for going for the Mud Step down later on. And so, as you will see here, we're going to go for the Awkward Tail Spam. Awkward Tail Spam is going to be quite nice. The opponent decides to use a shield here. That is fine by me. And I could use another one here as well. If I get them a little bit lower, I might be even able to Thunder Shock them down, which would be kind of nice. But generally speaking, I will be able to go for the next Awkward Tail. Get the opponent, KO the opponent. They're going to get alignment again, which is very important because a single charge move from the opponent is going to be resisted on our Morpeko. But also, the charge moves are super effective against our own Claydol. And so I can decide to go ahead and go into the matchup here against the opponent's Quillfish, which is very, very good for us. We can let the move go through. It's going to be Nice Beam. And now we can try to go for a Scorching Sand here, but we have some lag, but luckily we're still going to get there in time. Going to be able to get the shield, which is very important, and with this, we're going to get them insanely low there. So, is it going to be enough, though, to knock them out, is the question. Awkward Tail is coming through. We're going to try our best to fully farm them down. It does not work out. Another Awkward Tail is going to land up against our Morpeko. Is this enough damage? It is still not enough damage, and so we can reach another Aura Reel. Is this enough damage? It is still not enough damage. One more fast move this, and we're going to be able to win the battle. So, let's move on to the next opponent. We're going to have a very interesting matchup here against the opponent's Ponyard. It's great and bad at the same time. While the fast move is super effective and doing mostly quite a lot of damage here, the charge moves are all going to be resisted against us, which is generally speaking, of course, very, very decent. But yeah, it is a bit awkward with the fast moves, and I rather would like to swap out with this team, trying to bait out, I don't know, maybe a potential ground type Pokemon as well, just generally speaking. Like Drapion, there's not a single matchup I think in the current meta where Drapion has nothing to be doing. And so I do think this is going to be very interesting here as well. We're going to see the Awkward Tail coming through. Drapion might be able to align ourselves again as well, which would be kind of nice. Can we still get to another move? We will find out very shortly. As we're going to let the move go through, it's going to be just the Aerial Ace, of course. We sadly don't survive this one, but they swap out, and I swap out, and now it's Ponyard against the Claydol. And while they do super effective damage, I also know it's not going to be enough to knock us out, and so I was hoping here that they're gonna go ahead and go into the Mandibuzz, and I would be able to get the shield here. That was what I was hoping for the most. I am. And this is very, very good for me, because now, this one, I can let the move go through. I am going to let them give them all the farm down basically that they want to. And I have my Morpeko, and they swap out into the Rapidash. This game is not over, but what we can do here as well is we can go for the bait. Expect them to use a shield, which works out super well for us as well. We definitely gonna put them now into an Aura Reel range, which is going to be very important, as we need to get the KO here against the opponent. And we also don't really want to lose more health, as the opponent's Mandibuzz might have a charge move stored. And so, another Aura Reel is coming through here, boosting our attack even further, and we can try our best, as they're going to be able to reach out for the charge move. Is it going to be enough to knock us out? It is not, and so we can go for the Psychic Fangs. Hopefully this is going to be enough this time around. This time around, it is going to be enough to knock them out, and we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have the Primeape in the lead. There's going to be a matchup that we're actually going to be very likely win in the zero change scenario with our lead, but I kind of wanted to swap out anyway here. And we're going to get out the opponent's Galarian Slowbro, which is not a smart play by the opponent at all. They should rather stayed in there than instead. But we're going to be able to go for a crunch, get them insanely low. We can use a shield here as well. I was thinking it was just a brutal swing, and it was just a brutal swing, but yeah, mistakes been made. I could have let the move go through there, and I would have had a shield advantage, which would have been really, really nice. But it's what it is. We're going to see the Primeape coming in. They decide to go for a charge move, and yeah, I don't really know how this is going to go. We are still going to be able to go for another Awkward Tail here. That is quite important, As now, I can go ahead and go into my Claydol, try to go for the full farm load against the opponent, as we are going to use a shield here against them as well. This is going to be a Rage Fist coming through, and they can even go for another one, which you are shield up again, just trying to shield up our Claydol, which is our main win icon at the end here. They swap out into the Mandibuzz, allowing me to go for an R-Wheel against them, which is really great for me here as well, as you're gonna see the opponent going ahead for the Dark Pool. It's gonna be a resisted hit, as we're gonna be able to get them with a super effective 100 damage stab R-Wheel, boosting our own attack here at the same time, which seems a bit ridiculous. It is a bit ridiculous, but we can even go for a Psychic Fangs to take the KO against the opponent here, as the Mandibuzz is not gonna go down. They actually still survived this one, which is quite surprising. Of course, yeah, it's a it's a double resisted move, but still, we're going to be able to win the battle quite easily, and we can move on to the next opponent. Mandibuzz, oh Mandibuzz. Let's see what they're going to swap into. It's going to be a great lead for me, generally speaking. They're going to go into the Drapion, and I decided to go ahead and go for, yeah, this matchup here. And honestly, I should have mostly played it a little bit better. Awkward is coming through. And here I should have went for the Scorching Sand straight away, to either for the shield from the opponent or get the KO. And yeah, I didn't. And this is definitely going to be a mistake, as you're going to see here now, as they even get to another move. And at this point, we have alignment, but we're also one shield down. And yeah, like the energy that we have here does not make any difference. And so, yeah, it's not looking too good, does it? But what we can do is, we can go for the Psychic Fangs. We can drop the opponent's defense there, as they're fearing the Aura Reel. And with this, we're going to maybe have a little bit of a better time with our Drapion. As we will see, the Aquateer is coming through, doing enough damage to two-shot them easily. And we have to see what the opponent gonna go for. Is it the Trailblaze? Is it a Crunch? It's going to be the Crunch. They're gonna get the attack drop, which the defense drop, I mean, which is quite unfortunate. But as long as they don't get another time here, we should be kind of fine, as they swap out into the Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz can be a bit of a scary Pokemon. We can go for the Awkward here, get them with low, and now we can clear the debuff, which is great, as now we have the Morpeko against them. And we're gonna go for the bait here. Bait might be important. We get the shield from the opponent, but we have to still try to reach out for another charge move. But sadly, as we will see as well, electric typing is gonna be gone here already from the move of this Morpeko, from like our real Morpeko here. As you will see, they're gonna be able to knock us out. Now it's all down to the little Scorpion here as well. And let's see if this is gonna work out. The opponent swaps out here into the Skuntank. I'm gonna overform by a little bit, but I'm also gonna still go for a charge move here. And this was the correct play. As we will see here right now, we're gonna be able to knock them out. But we're also still going to be able to go for another charge move here against the opponent, which is going to be able to KO that Mandibuzz, which never would have happened otherwise. So, Pangoro. Pangoro is the Pokemon that I kind of want to take a look at as well again. This Pokemon looks like a lot of fun in any kind of league. This Pokemon has like some kind of play, which is kind of any Ultra League and Great League meta. But yeah, Pangoro, very strong Pokemon. Very nice panda. I like it a lot. It's one of my more, favorite Pokemon from Generation 6 at least, together with Greninja. But yeah, anyway, we're going to take a look at now. The Aquateer coming through against the Alolan Muk. This is a Pokemon I want to take a look at as well, but not in this kind of setup. I want to have a Shadow one. I want to have Acid Spray. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, trust me with that one. As we will see, the Acid Spray is coming through from the opponent as well, but it doesn't really help them because they're not Shadow, and Shadow bonus will really help them here as well, just with the fast move pressure. We're going to be able to still knock them out here though with the Awkward here, which is great. And now we're going to have the Slowbro against us. Slowbro has access to Surf, Scald, as well as Brutal Swing, all super effective hits against us here. And as we will see, we're going to have that matchup here still again. Going to shield this move up this time around. It is going to be that Brutal Swing. And let's see what it's going to be in the back here. We're going to be able to go for the full farm down. And it is going to be, of course, that Pangoro, which you saw already early on. This is going to be great, as we can now get ahead and get that shield from the opponent. We can get another shield from the opponent as well, which is going to be great. And it is very, very difficult now for them to do anything. As we will see here, the Pangoro is going to go ahead and go for the big close combat here. Their only kind of way of winning this one, but you can still farm them down with just Poison Sting. And this is going to be it for this one. And so we are going to be in the final video now. We're going to have a very decent and a very mediocre say-up for us. We don't really have an answer for this Pokemon, but it's also very difficult to find an answer for this Pokemon. As, just generally speaking, like the meta, how it currently is, it's a bit tricky. But yeah, you're going to see here, the opponent's Hisuian Quillfish. We're going to swap out into our own Drapion, which is going to allow us to just go ahead and yeah, get the awkward here onto us. We're gonna still try our best. We have the opponent going for another charge move here. It's going to be another awkward tail as well. And I'm gonna go for an awkward tail. A lot of awkward tails here today, which is always kind of nice, as we will see the opponent going for another awkward tail user. I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait for more awkward tails in my life. Please let me see that awkward tail. We will go ahead into our little, Claydol. And it's going to be the awkward tail. Luckily there for us, at least we saw some awkward tails from the opponent's part. But as we will see again, another awkward tail is coming through. We're going to try the best here to farm them down. And as we will see here, it's going to be the Mandibuzz in back. It is going to be a bit difficult because there's still one more Pokemon left on the opponent's part. Let's see how this is going to go ahead. We want to try my best to support in time, which did not work out at all. And so it's down now to the opponent's Mandibuzz towards our Morpeko. And as we will see here, we're going to see the Quillfish coming in. And we're going to be able to go ahead and go for the charge move here. It is going to be that Psychic Fangs. And let's see if we're going to still be able to win this battle. It's going to be so insanely close. The Mandibuzz comes back in here. We have to kind of stop out, and with this game is kind of over. I need a little bit more health left in order to do anything with the energy that I've stored. And so, sadly, there's going to be a loss here at the end. But still, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for just watching this video. Really appreciate it. Helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.